thing about me is I always loved helping people. It might sound corny, but whether it's just opening a door for somebody, maybe that's just a Canadian thing, but I always loved helping people. And when I started practicing Islam and I started learning Islam, I realized that this is the greatest form of helping another human being. Calling them to Islam, whether they're Muslim or non-Muslim, doesn't matter who it is. Calling someone to Islam, calling someone to Allah, calling someone to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the greatest thing one can do on earth. It's hard because there's like different chapters, different types of challenges. There are the emotional challenges, there's the financial challenges, there's the physical challenges. So maybe I'll give you one from each. How's that? The emotional, one of the challenges is just being away from your family and your loved ones for so long. Right? The Prophet ﷺ tells us that traveling, as-safar qit'atun min al-adhab, that traveling is a piece of punishment, a form of punishment, if you will. And some of the scholars, they mention that it's because you're leaving your loved ones. It's not just the visa process. It's not just the traveling for so long via some difficult means of transportation. It's leaving your loved ones. So not just myself, me and my friends and my colleagues, we've missed out on many funerals, many weddings, unfortunately. So there's that emotional challenge a lot of us went through. There's the financial challenge, which is hadith anhu wala haraj, just where do you even begin? Everyone experienced this, or many of us students experienced this. And I remember there was a student I was studying with when I was in Saudi Arabia who was from, I won't mention the country, he was from Europe. And he was really, really struggling financially. And I remember, as a married man with children, he, on the black market in Riyadh, they would sell expired goods. And just to cut costs, he would go and buy expired milk and expired mushrooms. He loved mushrooms. So he would save a couple of riyals buying these expired mushrooms. And I remember at the time I was teaching this one Saudi family English, and when I told the father of the house that the kids I was tutoring, when I told him of the story, he was hurt by that. And immediately, like the next time I saw him, he gave me maybe 700, 800 riyals worth of gift cards for the grocery store. And when I gave it to that student, Allah is my witness, he gave it to his neighbor. Because he had a neighbor who was struggling much more than him. Much more. That particular student had 8 children. Right? So there's a lot of lessons we can learn in this, right? So the financial stress and the financial challenges were many. Physical was a big one. A lot of us, we got sick abroad, whether it was malaria, whether it was typhoid, whether it was tuberculosis. I don't know which disease you want to hear, but each of those has its own story. One of the sheikhs I was really, really inspired by, even though I didn't have an opportunity to study with him directly, I studied with his students, Sheikh Ahmed Dougan of Ahsa. Sheikh Ahmed Dougan, Allah yarhamu, he passed away, I want to say about 10 years ago at the age of 103 or so. And Ahsa, for those who don't know, that's eastern province of Saudi Arabia, near Dammam. And Sheikh Ahmed Dougan, or Ahsa rather, was a place historically known for Islamic knowledge, but due to some political things that took place, it sort of died out. And Sheikh Ahmed Dougan almost single-handedly revived Islamic knowledge in the entire region. And what he did was he set up something called, they call it a dars. And what that was is he would take kids as young as kids in the 4th grade, and 4 days a week between Maghrib and Isha, he would teach them primarily Arabic grammar and fiqh. these two subjects. And over the years, by the time the kid finishes high school, he's pretty qualified. He's, we would call that person a sheikh. And he just finished high school, right? Because of that consistency, right? And the Prophet ﷺ tells us that the most beloved deeds to Allah are those that are most consistent, even if it's a little bit. So you might think it's an hour. What are you going to get out of an hour? It's only 4 hours a week. But you add that up, many books you study over the years. And what that did was he was able to transform an entire region. Not just his city, but the entire region. Many people are from his students. Many people. Big scholars from all various madahib have studied with him. And what inspired me the most was he was able to build a legacy with virtually no social media presence. Right? Now, you might not have heard of him. These people probably haven't heard of him, but you've been impacted perhaps indirectly through his efforts, which started really small. Homegrown scholars, as I put them, homegrown scholars are always going to be more effective and beneficial, if you will, than imported scholars. There's a verse in the Quran where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that whenever He sent a messenger or a prophet, He would send them in the language of their people. So having scholars from our own community, people who are born here or raised here, and then go abroad to learn the Islamic science and then come back and benefit the community, they get nuances and cultural subtleties, if you will, that somebody who came as an adult from the east or the west might not understand. So the question is, what will happen if we don't help Canadian students of knowledge? Let's just keep it Canadian for now. Answer to that question is brain drain. That has been happening and is happening and will continue to happen. And these scholars, these imams, these sheikhs, they will go to other communities that are able to compensate them what they feel is fair. So within Canada, that's America. That's becoming a reality, right? And within America, there's another form or another level of brain drain. That's Texas, right? Everyone's going south, right? So what's going to happen is more and more people are going to leave, and as a result, the community suffers. The community suffers. So the common question is, why can't the sheikh just work a full-time job and then teach in the evening, for example? The short answer to that question is, he's not a machine. He's a human being. He has a family. He has his own needs, his own wants. I think anybody who works a career understands how demanding that can be, right? Oftentimes it's not even 40 hours. It might be 50. It might be 60. So. And then to come home after the commute, just practically speaking, you come home 6 p.m., let's just say, from the office. You have your family, you have your kids, you got to take them to baseball or whatever it is that you got to do. To then prepare for a lesson, it's extremely difficult, tiring, physically demanding. So what happens is you end up getting into your career and focusing so much on that, you slowly drift away from the community. And the community has many wants. Right? I oftentimes see people say, and I heard this many years ago, over a decade ago, someone told me, just teach in the evening because people are busy in the mornings and afternoons anyways. Right? Speak for yourself. Not everybody. The community has different needs. There's perhaps a single mother that needs some help with something in the afternoon. Who's there to serve the community? Who's there to help the community if the sheikh is busy at a desk, right, for multiple hours a day?